Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys coming by the channel and spending some time with me on the video today. Got something I want you guys to contemplate today. Everybody that watches my channel and has followed my channel for any time at all, you know my stance on technology and how anti-tech I am. And one of the things I try to do on some of the videos that I do every week is I'm always I'm trying to interject some thought into the conversation on this technology, live scope, all that type of stuff that really makes people understand. A lot of people out there don't fully understand what is going on with this. So I'm always trying to come up with a better way to explain it, because a lot of people have their heads stuck in the sand. They got their heels dug in. They don't want to hear any alternative viewpoint on that. And in essence, they live in an information worldview silo of their own. But I've got something today. I want to approach this from a different angle in terms of reaching these people, and I'm going to get into that today. And it'll be definitely great, or definitely looking forward to hear your guys' opinion on it as well. Also, before we get started, guys, I just want to let you know that SolarBat has extended the sale on my RB2 and RBC 3 Series signature sunglasses from SolarBat. They've got a 50% off sale on them that was going to end at the end of December, but they extended another month. So if you guys are interested in getting a pair of my glasses here, you can either get them at Tackle Warehouse. I'll put the link in the description here, or through the SolarBat website. I'll put that link in the description and get you a good pair of these are the RB3s right here. The RB2s have the more natural looking frames. These have got the flat gray matte finishes here to reduce the light refraction. So anyway, links in the description there. Okay, guys, here's one of the things that a point I want to make on this. Maybe it'll help you guys understand why we need to resist this technologies, especially when it's related to forward-facing sonar moving forward. Everybody knows that the most precious things we have in life are normally some of the things that are most rare. I mean, you look at like why gold is so valuable, because it's rare. I mean, diamonds so valuable because they're rare. You know, experiences and things that are rare always hold more value. And that is the same when you're talking about bass. It's like the more rare that a bass is when you catch it, the more special it is once you catch that. And if you get to the point where the rarity of catching a bass no longer exists, then you completely diminish the experience of what that is to catch that bass. And that's one of the downfalls that expanding technology does, specifically when you're talking about forward-facing sonar, is it makes fishing easier. It makes the rarity of catching bass less frequent. You're catching more fish, therefore it's not as rare to catch fish. Therefore, the overall experience of catching fish, as you get more efficient, you catch more fish, it diminishes. It diminishes the value of what fishing is. Now, if you haven't experienced this, let me sort of give you a frame of reference what I'm talking about here. And I've used this example before, but it's really a perfect example analysis with this. I've had a chance throughout fishing the course of my 50 years to experience literally every type of fishing day that you can have. I've had days out there where I haven't got a bite. I've had days out there where I've got one bite. I've had days out there where I've got 20 bites, 30 bites, 50 bites, 100 bites, whatever. And I've had some days out there where I got in these massive schools of fish where it was literally every cast for 30, 40 minutes, every single cast. And if you didn't get one every cast, you change a bait and you get one the very next cast. Now, I can tell you what happens from this. It's like people would say, well, that's a day to remember. It's like, that isn't true. All those days that I have went out there where I have like got on the mother load, what happens is there is a letdown. After you start catching so many fish, there is an emotional and mental letdown where it doesn't hold the specialness. It doesn't hold the sway as it did when you were looking for those fish or catching one here and one there. It's almost like you're catching a fish and you're going through this commercial venture like a big trawling net or something that comes into the boat. And I've had situations out there where I've been catching so many fish that you'll take them off real quick and just throw them back in the water without even looking at them. And I got thinking about that and how that isn't good. It's like that is not that is not what makes fishing special. That is something that takes away from fishing. So when you develop technology that is completely geared for one purpose, to help anglers catch more and more fish and bigger fish and more fish, that takes the process of just what I'm talking about there when you're on those big schools of fish. It takes the rarity away from that. Bass are no longer rare, therefore you don't appreciate those fish as much. Now, the true gratification that comes with fishing, and this is what a lot of people that I'm trying to teach here, a lot of people don't understand what I'm about to say because they haven't experienced it. They've been brought up and raised in this era of technology, so they don't know any different. And I feel sorry for those people. If you're one of those people that are locked into your live scope and that's your game and that's how you fish, I really feel sorry for you, but it's not too late to change it. So here is what I'm saying about the ultimate gratification that comes from fishing. Is if you go out and pursue bass fishing as an art form from the very fundamental foundational level, and that art form begins with understanding bass movement and seasonal behaviors of fish. Now, this is something that doesn't happen overnight. This is something that takes decades to acquire, which is okay. It doesn't, there's no legitimate reason why any shortcut should be made or anyone should have a shortcut in going through that dirt time of understanding bass movement, seasonal behavior. Once you understand this and once you start utilizing that, you're out there and you're experimenting and you fish to find fish. You're hunting fish. You're out there looking for fish by fishing. You're not having this outside artificial influence tell you where to cast or tell you where to fish or show you where a fish is at. You actually have to find these fish yourself through the experience you have of the art form of understanding bass movement and seasonal behavior. And then once you catch a fish and once you start catching a few fish, the experience and the reward of catching that fish are accelerated at a exponential rate versus if you went out there and you scanned that cheater box out there and you saw a fish over there, roaming around a shad school, and throw that forward-facing minnow out there and catch it over and over and over again. This is what I'm talking about, the diminishment of the sport and the insult that it is to the fish by fishing this way. So, point of the video is what I want to try to come through at this angle is that you need to embrace and appreciate the rarity of catching a bass. And you don't need to have a shortcut to try to catch more bass. It's like hone your skill, develop your skills to do it the right way, to do it the way that it's meant to be. Now, this is not meant to be. The technology advancements that we're seeing right now is not a natural progression. This is something that has been perpetuated by money and money alone. There's no intrinsic value to electronic technology as it exists right now, other than, profit margins for these electronic companies and subsidies that they're given to tournament organizations. If you develop your skills and you approach fishing on this pure level of manifesting it as an art form that you have to learn and work, and it's a lifelong endeavor, the satisfaction that you're going to experience is going to be so much better. The respect that you show to the sport is going to be so much better. The sustainability of the sport is going to be so much better. And every single aspect of the sport is accentuated instead of self-destructing that we're seeing right now. So what I'm saying here, guys, is embrace the rarity of it. It's like, it's a lot more satisfying to go out there and have a day where you've utilized all your skills as an angler and you put 5 or 6 fish in the boat and you've appreciated every single fish. You take time to look at the coloration of that fish and the markings of that fish and remember what each one of those fish was, how it occurred, how the strike occurred, the lure that you're using, versus getting out there and finding a mega school with a forward-facing minnow and just jacking them one after another. That's not what fishing is. If you think that's what fishing is, you're approaching it completely wrong. Your viewpoint has been, completely clouded by the propaganda behind this type of technology. So anyway, guys, just a few thoughts there. Let me know what you think. We'll talk later.